Senator, your reaction to this?
Well, that was well done, Sean. Heartbroken in a way, because I know in Jerusalem tonight they're trying to figure out what do we do. The only reason they're not dancing in Iran is because they don't believe in dancing. If you're Sinwar in the tunnel, this is a good moment for you. But what does this mean to America? It changes the game in all the worst ways in the war on terror. Here's what Joe Biden is asking. He's asking the Israelis to turn the war over to him and Lloyd Austin. To my friends in Israel, don't do that. Fight without the weapons. Do not let Joe Biden and Lloyd Austin run this war. They will do for you what they've done for America. So my fear is that the hostage deal was hard. Now it's impossible. My fear is that Saudi Arabia, that was thinking about recognizing Israel, and I've been working with the Biden administration for a year to bring that deal about, they would have a hard time right now, if this continues, signing up with a defense agreement with Joe Biden and his team. Who in their right mind in Saudi Arabia would turn their national security over to Joe Biden? So this is heartbreaking, it's dangerous, it's pouring gasoline on a fire, and every problem we had in the Mideast just got worse. This is a nightmare for Israel to be abandoned by their best friend in the world, and the only way you're going to change this is at the ballot box in November.
You know, I don't know what this means for Israel. I don't know what it means for every country in the region. I mean, look at what he's already done with Iran. Not only did he turn a blind eye to sanctions and allow the Iranians to sell oil and get rich, you know, what, $100 billion plus. He was importing oil since March of 21 from Iran. He allowed, he gave a waiver to Iraq to give the mullahs $10 billion. He wanted to give them $6 billion in a ransom exchange. What part of Iran being the world's #1 state sponsor of terror is he not understanding? And what part of what happened to Israel on October 7th is he not understanding here?
No, I think he does. I think he doesn't understand, and that's the problem. October the 7th was the largest loss of life of Jewish people since the Holocaust. They're surrounded by Iran, who wants to wipe out the Jewish state. Hamas says we'll do it again and again and again. Their charter is to destroy Israel, not to help the Palestinians. Then you got Hezbollah with 100,000 rockets pointed at Israel from Lebanon. They're surrounded by radical Islamic terrorists that want to destroy the Jewish state, not help the Palestinians. And what is Joe Biden's response? To withhold weapons in a war that Israel cannot afford to lose. What did we do after we were attacked in Pearl Harbor? What did we do to end the war against the Japanese? We dropped 2 nuclear weapons on 2 Japanese cities to make sure our soldiers didn't have to invade Japan, where you could have 1 million lives lost. What is Joe Biden doing? He's making it impossible for allies throughout the world to trust us. He's making it hard on Israel to win.
Well, this would be the equivalent of losing 40,000 Americans a day if you extrapolate and compare their population to ours, and 8,000 Americans taken off American soil and taken hostage. Let me play your exchange on this very issue you were speaking to with the Secretary of Defense, Secretary Austin.
And you're telling me you're going to tell them how to fight the war and what they can and can't use when everybody around them wants to kill all the Jews? And you're telling me that if we withhold weapons in this fight, the existential fight for the life of the Jewish state, it won't send the wrong signal? Do you still think it was a good idea, General Austin, to get out of Afghanistan?
I support the president's decision.
Yeah, I think you do. I think it was a disastrous decision. If we stop weapons necessary to destroy the enemies of the state of Israel at a time of great peril, we will pay a price. This is obscene. It is absurd. Give Israel what they need to fight the war they can't afford to lose.
If they are ever successful, that was a great exchange, Senator. And then you brought up the issue of, you know, should we use, were we wrong to use atomic weapons to end World War II? What was his answer?
It was a delayed answer. I asked General Brown, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, if you were around in World War II, would you advise dropping the atomic bomb to end the war? He finally said, well, you know, it did end the war. You got to realize that Israel's in a fight for its life. This is not some normal exchange in the Mideast. They want to kill the Jewish state, Iran, Hezbollah, and Hamas. And what did they do? They put command centers under hospitals. They hide weapons in mosques and schools. They use human shields to make it hard for Israel to kill the terrorists without killing the Palestinian people. Israel is in a terrible spot because they're fighting a vicious enemy. And Joe Biden today, you picked Michigan over Mideast stability. You picked domestic politics over world stability. What you did tonight, my friend, is that you made every terrorist in the world high as a kite. You put our friends in Israel in a box, and here's what they're going to do. Here's what I would do if I was Israel. I'd say, I appreciate all the support in the past. We're going to do what we have to do to destroy Hamas. We're not going to turn the war over to Lord Austin, who thought it was a good idea to get out of Afghanistan. It'd be like asking Mayorkas, could you help us secure our border? To my friends in Israel, do what you have to do. Destroy these battalions, and don't let Joe Biden give a win to the terrorist.
You know what? They're going to win the war without Joe Biden.
They're going to win the war without Joe Biden.
Yes, yes, they will. And it's sad because if they were ever successful in destroying Israel, as their charter calls for, we're next. That I can promise every American. Senator, thank you. All right, tonight it's